Welcome to Pitch Day.
Okay, let's get seated, everyone. The first row is for the judges. Take your seat. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We are about to get started with the WasteLess Hackathon Pitching Day. We have altogether 8 teams today here solving the problems of circular economy, recycling, and different kind of waste problems. We have here today with us the authors, Nora from WasteLess, Annika from Kymenlaakson Jäte, and Kalle from Goodwill. They will be attending to the judge panel. Then we have here also today Mr. Oras from Kotka Campus Game Programming degree, and then we have Teijo from Factory and Entrepreneurship Things, and Anni from X-Lab. And you will have 3 minutes time to pitch, and Pekka is going to show you the time when you have 1 minute left in the back row, as you noticed yesterday. So altogether, 3 minutes for the pitch. After that, the judges will have time to ask some questions, and then we're gonna go for the next one. You have found the order of the pitching day, as well as the group who makes the peer evaluation for the other group. So pay attention that which one you will be following today more deeply to make some kind of like feedback for them. But let's get started. First of all, thank you for the great weekend. It has been a pleasure to have you here for the whole time. You have made a really good work. But now it's time for Gabrones.
Yes. So, hello guys. Our team is Cabron. Can you make it full screen somehow? Well, okay, it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. Why does it? So, okay. Um, our team is called Cabrones, and we actually came up with the idea of an app. So, next slide. So imagine Otto. He's Next slide, please. Imagine Otto. He's a typical Finnish citizen, and he doesn't know how to recycle, and he doesn't know how to sort waste. So he knows absolutely nothing about this. And he sees the advertisement on the shelf where he puts waste, and it says one message, marketing message. And it says, for example, stop. Maybe you sort wrong, and here is QR code and some links for application in App Store and Google Play. So, okay, he is really curious, he is interested. And of course, he downloads this application because it's interesting and it could be also a tip. Okay, he opens the application, and what is there? Okay, there is our name, Sunyate, which is from Finnish, your waste. And here you can see that you can scan the product code, barcode, which is on every product, like packaging. So, or the keyword, for example, Fazer chocolate. And actually, it will give us the opportunity to give information about from which material the packaging consists of. For example, Fazer chocolate. Uh, let's try to put Fazer chocolate. Okay, there is Karol Fazer Microsukla, and we choose it because it's Microsukla. We ate this during we were making it. And as it says, the packaging consists of aluminium and also paper, and also gives the location of the points for drop off. So this is primarily made for people who don't know if it's paper or plastic or whatever. So people can understand how to sort waste right. And then, there is also a thing for the electronic waste and some other textiles, but we are now giving the example of the electronic waste. So, for example, you have a laptop or phone or any other unused electronic, and the application asks you if it's in a good condition. And if it's in a good condition, then it shows the locations of Goodwill stores because you know that we can give it to Goodwill store and they will accept it. And it will be really, really great for the Goodwill store and also for other companies because there will be less waste. And it's really, really great idea to recycle electronics like that. Not thank you for your attention.
Okay, let's go on with the judging panel with the partners. Annika. Thank you, Carol. If I understand the name of your group right, Stephanie.
Maria.
Um, I really like your idea, and I have just one question. In Finnish, we call lainsäädäntölogiikka, and in English, it's something like, what is the business idea? How will our company earn money with this application?
Um, you're from what company?
Relaxation jäte.
So basically, it will help to, yes, it will help to purify the materials which are going to be sorted. So, for example, in the paper recycling bin, there will be more paper than before this happened. So, and the materials will be sorted correctly. Also, some of the electronics waste are going to put into the sekajate, for example, recycling bin, and they will be then like, to the stores or to the like to the so actually, Kinwas and Yatra somehow wins about the a little bit elimination of some of the waste. Also, as you couldn't see it from the presentation, but there will be also for plastic the link to the link points, so it will be less waste in Sakayata. So it's also a very good thing. You're welcome.
How big do you think that the target audience?
A target audience
Yeah.
is, I think that it's really big because they see this banner advertisement on the shelf of the rubbish. How to say it? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So, and you know that there will be two types of people. First of all, there will be eco-friendly people who will be always trying to learn something more. And another thing is that a lot of kids like to scan this barcodes just for fun. Like, and there will be a QR code on the shelf. So, and for example, me, I still like scanning all the QR codes which I see. So actually, it's really great for also younger audience because this is made like funny and also it doesn't push you to install it, but it doesn't say that like install this app. But you understand?
What about Northern? Uh,
Yes.
well, thank you. Um, I was wondering who will add the products or the who will first play with the,
People,
all the people.
human beings.
Okay. No,
Well,
the
okay.
companies or
Well, okay, that it will be about 12 courses. So the software will be developed by people. They will have the opportunity to add the materials in the product. So people, actually, we will add some basic products, but later on, using this app, people will add more and more and more. So later on, we will have a huge database of the materials, and then it will be like too bad.
and what about the products which don't have it?
Yes, that's why we have keyword search. They don't have barcodes, but keyword search. For example, as we shown you with matcha chocolate. Okay, but for example, you forgot. Okay, the packaging is damaged, and I don't have the barcode. But I see that this is made of aluminum and paper packaging, so I know that. And for example, I take the paper cup, and then okay, and then it shows the paper cup. And for example, if you work with, let's say, Hasburger, so and it says like if it's from Hasburger, you can put it into the paper recycling bin really quick.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. What about the example? We can have one question from you guys.
So, okay, I want to ask about your team. What kind of talent is in your team?
Our team is very talented. I think that is the most important in our team that we are all talented and there are no just rubbish people. You know, so of course these people are saying it now, but of course they give me some information like virtually. So it's really great. And these two app developers, they are really good at this. So I really think that they will make it like 10 out of 10. I'm sure. Yeah, so they are studying them. So I'm sure that they will make it 10 out of 10 how we want. And actually, two other members as me, we are creating the design of the service. So we are more into the design of the service itself.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you.
Everyone gets seated. And the next one, sustainable later. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we can finally start. Well, hello everyone. I'm Katrina, this is Katrina, and there is Alexi, our team member. And we create a solution with an application. It's called Little Pressure, and it's mainly for little kids and their teachers. So this is a cognitive app for, as I said previously, for children and for teachers and maybe the parents. Uh, there you can find the explanation of different kind of waste, how you should separate it, what you should put where, and all this kind of information. And also the second part is more like environmental side of the problem. So what you should do to reduce waste in general, like in your everyday lifetime. So after the learning material, the kids will be able to check themselves in interesting quizzes. And also our main character in the application, the team of Little Pressure, will follow them in each step of the program. And as a reward for the children, there will be different costumes for him, uh, which they will be able to purchase. And also teachers will be able to upload their own learning materials, their own jobs and quizzes into the app. This is how it looks like. So this is introduction and home screen. The first part is the recycling part, and the second part is what you should do to reduce waste. Yeah. Recycling part, well, there is information, general information about each type of waste, where we can put it, where we cannot put it also, and it's written with a really simple and funny text. Yeah, so kids will understand this. The second part is about reducing the waste in their general life. So, for example, the information that you have to reuse everything, for example, that you have to donate your old stuff that you don't need anymore to someone who needs it, and the environmental problems like, for example, plastic the quizzes look like this, and teachers will be able to upload some physical tasks. For example, go to the forest and collect waste for some kind of time, and teachers will give them trash points. Yeah, how much do they want? In the shop, they will be able to purchase items, and more learning material, more quizzes, and more clothes will be able to yeah, come forward, come along. And this is the platform for the teachers where they will be able to create their learning material. It looks like this and this. And this is all. Thank you for attention. Yeah.
Thank you, little pressers. Great. Let's go on. Yes, Hannah. No.
Um, like how you can if many has that how, how do you think about that? How you can be well, it's like yeah, it's this is for like really little kids, and there's really general information. For example, that you have to put glass into glass waste, but for example, mirrors you cannot put in the glass. You have to put in mixed waste. So there is not really a lot of difficult information. For example, PVC plastic should not be put into plastic or this stuff. It's just really general and very simple for kids to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It looks really good that I actually I would be a kid and I would play um, every day. But I have the same question and the other question. What is it?
Well, we created this site mainly, I think, for the school for some educational programs for classes. So you should really we use this app with a teacher, with some kind of teacher. So I think our main target is really like popular in the school. And yeah, well, our business idea is to educate young generation so they can know what to do in their life. Um, yeah, well, we're like young folks here. But it's not really fun. No.
Thank you. First of all, I love the little treasure. Right? Or drill. I have little drill and everything seems goes with the team. Have you thought how you would basically get the app out there in the school? So available for teachers. I mean, it can be available from App Store, but how would you basically get teachers or schools to use it? Have you heard about that?
Well, we thought about that a little, and I think well we have to some kind of advertise it in, for example, in one region of the school, for example, and if it will be successful, it will share like on their own. But I'm not really sure. But I think yeah, you have to advertise it. For example, you go to the school and you tell teachers about it, and you tell kids, and you tell like all your friends who have family, like oh yeah, somehow I'm not really a business guy, but I think it happened like this.
Okay. Thank you.
And then this, I would say that I really like your app and it has nice pictures and nice design also. So I think that your kids uh, would like this also or would like this also. But this could also be in the preschool before.
Yes, yes,
But there's if it's possible do it with sound. Not available to the preschool. It's not all the kids cannot read.
yeah. I mean, I think learning materials can be like fully changeable.
Yeah.
You can make it simpler. You can make it maybe more difficult for different target groups. For example, not only for kids, but for I don't know, for more older generation. Yeah. So I mean, the main idea is the same, but the learning material, the difficulty, the information can be different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it can be really changeable.
Yes, I agree with one.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sustainabilizer. Then the eco heroes.
Second,
Johan, are you good with your? The the line. Uh, yes. Koneen asetuksista. Se vasemmalla kyllä. Näytä. Hyvä taas. On. Ja ihan hyvä vaan. Okay. Hello everyone. Our team is Eco Heroes, and today we bring in the game called Eco Hero Learning by Playing. Our challenge is to create a game for primary school students. We target on the age of from 6 to 13 years old, but of course, like everyone can play this. And the children prefer playing to studying. The aim of this game is to raise awareness about environmental problems at young ages in an interesting way. And we come up with a question how to encourage primary school students to adapt to sustainable values and to circular economy by beginning education.
Okay, like this is a puzzle game with a story, and you can choose a character on it, and you have a challenge to travel around the world to the polluted cities, and you can save the world. And what makes it different with the other puzzle game is like you can combine three kind of glass quests together to turn them into a piece of glass, or three kind of metal quests and turn them into a piece of metal. You can use some piece of glass to build the window, or some piece of glass to build a bicycle by themselves. And or if you don't want to build it, you can sell it to the store, and you can earn money from it, and you can use money for what? And for this shop, you can use money to buy some clothes, some hat, and so something for your character, and that's how the game is played.
And there are some unique selling points here. The first one is that we brings in the educational features. By the way that we solve this the waste, um, the player will be educated which kind of waste should go together, even though like they are not looking the same, but they are in the same sort of waste. And there another thing is that we brings in the feature about marketing. We decided to put the logos of some brands on the products in the game. That's to promote for the brand. And this is our game is like different from the existing one like Candy Crush Saga uh, or the classic diamonds in these terms. And thank you for your attention.
Okay, judging. Quick questions.
Thank you. Uh, um, we will confuse in the way that I think as a game, uh, I like the idea of same time like Candy Crush, so it's widespread. Uh, but what was basically the learning mechanic in the game? You showed that you get different pieces of metal, they go into like a bigger picture, then on bigger picture. Uh, is that basically all of the education?
Yes. Like, essentially, it's to identify that what materials we can throw away together or what type of ways go together.
That like for glasses you can recycle into a new piece of glass. So for a new piece of glass, you can do another thing. So it's like really topic instrument that is very important to recycle. And it does we can recycle and it's very important.
Okay.
Thank you. You guys how do you feel about it? Is there any risk factors involved?
I think it's, the thing is that we have to compete with like um, like the already existed games like Candy Crush Saga and the Classic Diamonds. These games are like really popular and all over the world. So yeah, of course we have the insecurity that how can we compete with them because they are already really successful in these terms. So that's our risk. But also like this is also an opportunity for us because we think that our game is like not only entertaining but also like educational because we try to educate the young ages students how to which kind of trash and garbage that we can recycle and stuff like that. And we also decided to earn money from bringing in another from other brands. For example, maybe like some paper cups from Coca Meals, and also we can include it in the games as our features in the games, so that the player can choose to play those stuff, and that would be like our unique things in. Think about that, how people are coming to download. I'm downloading, how can my friends like can I like encourage my friends to do it or like can you compete with your friends but you are and you mean like the multiple players? Yeah, like that. You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. We have, after this, we will develop the game like further. We will like we can call multiplayer to save the world to the cities not polluted anymore, and you can like show how beautiful the character is, how like modern the character is. That's it.
Okay, some crew, do you have something to add? No. Okay, let's go on with space onions.
Another question.
Okay. So, hello everybody. My name is Anastasia, and this is our amazing team. And we decided to take upon the replay challenge. So, how to make 8-year-olds beg you to teach them about recycling? Seems pretty impossible, right? So, what if I'll tell you that you can do that in a fun and exciting way, and it can involve monsters? So, seems impossible, right? Introducing 2D educational action game with resource management elements. You play as a heroic alien called upon to restore dystopian Earth, dominated by evil, trash, nasty monsters that were born for human ignorance and neglect, and they want to fight you and prevent you from fixing the Earth.
So in the main menu, you will see yourself as the hero living in the world where the earth is sad. And why is it? Because all the natural resources is depleted, and the only way you can make the earth happy again is to fight monsters made out of different materials. For example, here bio waste. So you, for example, bio waste. Once you defeated the monster, you will gather the material through the recycling palace, where here you can learn the values or like the process, the actual process, what's going on with the recycling, and you actually learn something. And after this process, the material will go up and fill up these food or like uh, pyramids, and the earth will be happy again. And after you finish these battles, we will earn rewards such as experience, and you can, or like money, you can buy it in the shop. And once you make any purchase in the shop, the results will go down again. Then here you have the sense of to control the balance. And especially every game, you have to be able to control your character, be whoever you want. This gives the players the sense of connected to the game and keep the gaming experience more personal. Here's some of our future ideas to develop the game further with different scenarios of the battles.
Yeah, for example, the first one is the biowaste, so the background. The second one is, for example, if we use a glass monster that wants to fight you, and the way you fight it with special weapons. For example, the glass, you fight with special glass beams. And the recycling process is different. For example, for biowaste, you learn about how to process the biowaste, but for the glass, you learn how to special recycling process for the glass. So the system in the palace is different. So the kids actually learn how it functions in the real world. Yeah.
Thank you, Space Onion. Now, Nora, you seem like ready to start.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I'm studying at the end. What do you guys use to use if I may say, hell yes. It's fun, and I think it's a really good idea to kind of combine the actual knowledge that kids can use, but make them feel like superheroes. So they are the ones that are saving the planet. They are the ones that contribute to the planet Earth. But while they actually do it properly, so there is no like made up science behind the recycling. There is actual like they can learn the process. So we also had the idea like in the mind in the recycling palace. So when they, for example, each part of the process is animated. So they say, for example, in the bio part, they say it goes to the pre-treatment. What happens in the pre-treatment? They get rid of all the stuff that's not biodegradable. Then it goes into compost, and there's like few simple words for kids to understand. So it's not like really scientific knowledge terms and stuff that environmental engineers can understand. This is for kids. They are 8 year olds. They don't want to use fancy words. It's it's a game. It makes learning easy and fluid, but at the same time, it doesn't make them think that much. So they kind of they don't feel anxiety while they playing this game because it's on the level of their knowledge at that time. And we also have an idea after this one, after all this recycling, they can also be improved with other topics for sustainable gain. So they, through the process of education, they can actually learn to be more sustainable citizens. So it can be about energy saving, conservation. It can be about anything related to nature and how to help the planet. Yes.
Annika, with questions?
No, well, thank you. Your course is one of my favorite yeah, we had really a lot of fun doing this. Yeah. You can feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Good one. Question is almost the same for the previous group. Uh, the learning or education method. After you give it yourself,
Yes.
you the brain will see how basically the treatment process will go. Is there any educational mechanism before that? So, for example, in the actual gameplay, when you're fighting against a monster, for example, glass monster, card or paper monster,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's some kind of educational mechanism.
Yeah.
So we have an example with the like paper monster. For example, the monster will be made out of the vodka milk cups, and then the weapons will be those boxes will suck out the life force of the monster. So like for each type of material, we'll have different mechanics of how to defeat the monster, and that is like uh, the treatment way in real life. So they will learn by that.
Some for something to add?
Why?
Why not? Like it's fun. It's really appealing to the kids. It's unusual. If it was a human, exactly. The child comes to cry in the end because we defeat them, we fight them, and then they're like, "Oh my God, you defeated me. How can this be? I give up."
Yeah.
Cry.
Okay. 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 So, uh, which, which is your business plan? How to monetization? Okay. I would like to play, but how do I spend my money?
Oh, well, there are different ways. The first one, you actually get the resources, and then you give the resources to the shop grandpa, and then it can give you exchange armor. And then we also thought about involving a specific event every, I don't know, month. It depends, 2 weeks, a month, where there's like a flea market, which can connect a lot of players. For example, if the whole class plays it, the players from the class can connect to that flea market and they can exchange their armor for example, money and stuff like that. And while they do that, there is no depletion in the resources because they're actually kind of recycling. They're giving other people, so they reuse it. But if they give material and the grandpa makes it, that's the depletion of the resources. So they have to fight more monsters for that. And as the monetization goes, well, it's kind of yeah, it's kind of motivates the kids. Kind of yeah, you get these kind of rewards, you get the armor, you get this kind of stuff, but you also get these points, and with these points you can maybe change the color of the armor. You can get spikes. You can get that kind of stuff that kind of motivates them to make their character the prettiest, the most badass onion the world has seen. Yeah.
I'm on. Um, the gameplay of class check. Uh, how do you educate? Because um, as I told, I want to play this, but for example, in Finland, 1950s or 1900s, we carried all our branches in our backyard. After that, the campsites. And now we recycle a lot uh, compared to history. But I would like to add gameplay that first there is no recycling at all, and then you fight for different kind of monsters, and then you uh, uh, pull up your recycling plastic. So first, because there is no uh, recycle for plants, and you develop it.
Yeah, yeah, we actually
Then,
talked about that.
at the same time, when you play, so you get more fun gameplay.
Well, with the resources part, because we don't want to overwhelm the kids with a lot of charts of different types of monsters. So we start, for example, with the bio, and we only have the bio factory. And when the monster is defeated, the bio factory is like completely set, and then there is like a work in progress of the glass factory. We also have the backstory for the whole game, where the humans on the planet, because it's predicted that in 12 years we're kind of doomed as it goes for the environment. So we kind of wanted to urge kids more to think about the environment and to do as many things as possible, kind of recruit young minds in a way. So we have the backstory that the humans they polluted so much, they used everything, they didn't think, and they're in so much trouble that the trash kind of became sentient and kind of started dominating the earth, even though they knew that there are like some process of the recycling and they can like they wanted to implement that, but the trash monsters already exist, which is like big piles of trash everywhere, fighting them back. So it actually kind of shows that humans kind of screwed up. They're trash monsters, they cannot fight, so they kind of need external help to come down and to fight the monsters so they can do themselves the recycling because they kind of are already kind of aware that there is this recycling process. So we introduce the kids to the recycling process, and then they kind of through the game learn parts of the recycling. And then these bars, for example, for the biomonster, we get one bar of the food. Then if we fight the glass monster, there is like another resource. So it builds up, and they get used to the already bars. So it's not like one block of
Thank you. Let's go on. Then we will have re-impact 3,000, not 2,000. And just to remind you, give like quick responses and do your pitch during the pitch.
Hello, everybody. We all know how hard it is to make kids learn something, right? So what if we came up with the idea how to make this process interesting and exciting and entertaining? So kids like play video games and they are always in their phones. So we made an eco-educational app for them. So this is actually unique because education won't be straightforward and it will engage the audience with the sci-fi plot and the relatable characters. So everything starts with a story about people who polluted the earth so bad, and some of them left to colonize other galaxies. However, some enthusiasts stayed believing that everything can be changed, so they decided to start with their daily habits. And the kid is going to play and make one of those characters save the planet. So now we would like to show our working prototype. So here is the story behind the whole game, but we don't really have time to read it. So everything starts with a small talk with the main character, whose name is Yuka. And in the very beginning, you get your starting pack, which includes money and also shows your stamina and the state of the environment. And in the same dialog box, you can always check which achievements you got and which rank you have among other players. So here is your first choice. And you need to remember that each of your choice will affect all of parameters which you have seen before. But while making the decision, you can always see its price. So we expect kids to think and choose the best option for the environment. And take a mention on this window. You already had like the similar choice in the very beginning, but the environment here was much more worse. But thanks to your good decision, now you have a better environment.
Thank you, great impact, 3000. So, discussion panel. Well,
Uh, thank you. I was thinking that if I'm still young boy, I'm young still, not in elementary. So, uh, what would basically motivate me to play like I'm
Yeah.
serious, like it's meant to be played, I'm
Uh,
just fooling around.
we cannot present it in this presentation because it's too short, but actually the game has a rich plot, rich destinies, and this will keep you attracted all the time. And if you play just 20 minutes, then it just cannot stop.
Okay, thank
It's actually a strategic game. So this engages you with the plot, so you start playing, and then for example, you choose some resource, just like you would be free. You click something and you, for example, lost 3 points, 3 or 4 points, and you're like, oh my god, what have I done? And why have I done? And that's why we have like information boxes, it explains why, and you're like, that next time I need to do something to earn more those points and maybe save some money. So you're like strategically planning your game.
And actually, the choices that you do, they also affect in the long-term perspective. So the choice that you made today, you'll make some choices in a week or so, and this is another linear game in this case.
you. Did you think about some kind of social competition, like
Sure, we already have the it was shown. We have a event
which is like leaderboard, and this is not connected yet to other players because we are 21 players yet, but there will be competition, there will be wager, and there will be uh, some kind of community in which you can talk to other players and discuss which ideas would be the best for them.
Laura, Annika, something to add?
Yeah, I have one question. Why did you not want?
Uh, yeah, actually, through the game you can learn a lot of helpful information. I mean, you should know how the waste is recycled, but the more importantly, this game helps you how to make everyday life choices, and this will have the closest relation to your own choices that you do every day. So it's not just extra information. This is something that you can apply today.
So I have seen this shop position, and you have different choices of design. One of the options was that I would go in I would need to fill your camp. And when you actually choose this one, you will lose, for example, 1.5 euros per Coke. But then
Thank you.
After celebrate, but actually this is quite interesting game. Like even in my
Sounds good. Anything to add? Okay, let's go on. Thank you, Rima. And thank you, always.
So, hello, we are Ecomates, and our project is about improving goodwill services. Our goal is to make donation easy and fun. We will use Bob to describe our idea. Bob has a problem. He has a chair that he wants to get rid of, but he doesn't want to just throw it away because it's in perfect condition. Bob goes to Twitter to find out what he can do. He found Goodwill's Twitter and it looks fun and interesting. So he goes to Goodwill's website. There, the website tells Bob exactly what to do to donate his chair. Bob feels comfortable. There's also a checklist for him to make sure that his chair is really in a perfect condition. Bob doesn't want to make a call or bring his chair to GW, but luckily there's an easy online form for him to fill out. He puts in the item description and condition easy. Bob's online form was then evaluated by GW. Goodwill doesn't need to even see the item in person. If they are still unsure, Goodwill will ask Bob for a video call. No more pranks for Goodwill. Finally, Bob's chair was accepted by Goodwill, or in the next one at least. So finally, Bob's chair was accepted by Goodwill. It was so smooth and easy, Bob decided to become a spokesperson for Goodwill. Yeah, so
Since we have time, we can check out the Twitter that Bob visited. No,
Okay, thank you. So, I think we will start with Kalle.
Okay, thank you. Sure. The idea was basically an online form to, how do I say, book of donating pickup.
well,
The guy understood it correctly.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
there is a form that the donor can fill in if they don't want to make a phone call or bring their items to Goodwill to check. They can fill out this form, like what kind of item it is, what type of condition it is in, and because they may be lying about the conditions, also it is advised that they also post a picture, take a picture also of their furniture, and it is even more advisable that they take it from many different angles to prove that it is in perfect condition. And if Goodwill still have doubts about the picture that was sent, they can also have the option to ask the donor that is it okay that we make a video call, so that, and if the donor is like, okay, we can make video call, they can use their video call and just like film their furniture, things like that. But this is only with their permission, and there's also like free app that people can use nowadays to make free video call too. We assume that they have internet.
Yeah, thank you. Just one more. You basically reduce the possible misdrives to the donator if the item is in acceptable condition. If you think about any other ways to reduce excess work or use of resources, I mean, now you have the next steps are that Goodwill employee will call to the donator. So,
They can either say, if they look at the form and say, everything looks really fine, it's okay to just email the donor that, yes, we accept.
okay, but I just like to say what I have in mind that maybe you will have think about some kind of an online calendar, but after you have put in the I have shared this picture condition, and then online calendar showing all the work available, picking up times, and you could pick one, and just then if Google takes a look at the photo, that it's okay, they can just press OK, confirm, the pickup will be at your chosen time, something like that.
Yeah, this was just a prototype. There's a lot to add to this. This was really just a bare bones. Yeah.
Thank you. Some other judges, something to add?
Yeah, yeah, they will just take it to their recycling center. Yeah, yeah, they already have like system for that.
Now, in the online form, if they reject it, no one has to waste their car petrol to go to the center or go to check at their house. At least not no time is wasted if they want to get rejected.
Something to add? Okay, thank you. Please forward to the stage.
Open it in online. Yeah.
Okay, so we can start with the presentation like this. And when we gathered with our team, we decided to solve the problem of awareness of sorting because nowadays it's really important. And uh, so we will go through firstly the problem and solution that we suggest, competitive advantage of our solution, and future development of our idea. So, as I have said, the problem is how to add value to kids to sort the trash and to recycle it. Our solution is presented as a small game which will raise kids' awareness about waste sorting and recycling. So here you can see a demo of the game. Um, so basically, the game looks is presented as the main character can be a truck or something else, and it drives around the map and collects different kinds of trash, which a player can see on the bottom. And then there are several recycle points concerning to each type of trash, for example, metal and glass. And then player has to pick the those kind types
pieces of trash which goes to the exact point. So, for example, this can would go to the metal recycling point. Um, so, what gives us a competitive advantage on the market? First of all, among all the competitors, this game is more educative and it shows visually shows how to sort trash. Also, development opportunities I will describe later, and it also can be upgradable and customizable. To keep its attraction, we can use some skins or boosts for the character, and also multiplayer feature is also applicable to this game. So future developments are into the game. There might be added more levels or achievements, also different modes. Uh, Obviously, better graphic is needed. So unfortunately, our team didn't have game designer. So it is also possible. And as well, we can add cooperation with companies. And as you can see at the slide, on the next slide, for example, when a truck picks up a cup, it can be Vodka Mills cup, and then it shows that yeah, and then a player can know that it goes not to paper but to different kind of trash bin. Yeah.
Thank you, Team Resource. Okay, let's start with Nora. Annika start.
Uh, Business idea, yes, we can promote this game as learning teaching tool, for example, to kindergartens or to preliminary school, I think it's called like this, so that people can use it, for example, on the breaks between classes to make kids not just like waste their time, but they can play some game. But we uh, we think that to kids it shouldn't be promoted as teaching tool because like if they know that it's educative, they will get bored. So for them, it can be promoted as game, but for schools and kindergartens, it can be promoted as teaching tool.
Kalle or Nora, something to add?
No,
What about Samku? No? Okay, easy question. Thank you. And we have the Green Raccoon. Sorry, yes, free or what?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Konstantin. Hi, I'm Nelly, and these are Janina, Jose, and Juan, and we are Team Green Raccoon. And we are here to present a game that will increase the primary school children's awareness of environmental responsibility. And we believe that teaching children about environmental issues at an early age can help them build sustainable habits in the future as well. And our solution is to combine fun, colorful easy-to-play gameplay with role-changing environmental topics. So we present Raccoon, Cleaning Chaos. Uh, in this game, a bunch of little raccoons are running around the house, causing havoc, leaving lights on, leaving taps running, not knowing how to recycle, and just leaving all their, for them, useless stuff just laying around. So the player will be in charge of making sure this household is living by green values and making sure nothing goes to waste and what waste is produced is processed properly. So by clicking on switches and tabs and trash and other things around the house that the raccoons have interacted with, the player will make the right decisions in the family's everyday lives and collect points towards a happier, healthier uh, Earth, filling up this meter on the side of the screen. Uh, the more right choices you make, the lower the temperature of the planet is, making it happy and sparkly. And if you forget stuff, it will get hot and steamy and exhausted, and the game will be over. Our game would be great for both a classroom environment as well as just fun at home, as we would offer it both as a standalone game as well as a package to use in classrooms. And this package would offer both. This package would have both a product and a service with two options. So one option would be that the school can provide a game with a bit of material for the lectures. The game will have different kinds of levels for different themes. So if you want to talk about energy conservation, you can have a level that's just about energy conservation. Our other option would be to have a full package with help where we help the teachers to achieve all the goals of the game in specialized lessons, reasonable schedule, and fun but practical homework, and showing how difficult green living can be with so many people not caring about the stuff. Would encourage children to make the right decisions at home as well. And
Thank you, Green Raccoons. Justin, who wants to start? Colin?
Thank you. If we think about the school versus educational and for school, how long the lifetime would be one classroom? So one class, teacher brings in the game. They start basically educate through the game. How long time period?
Because it's like we have categorized the levels, so it's like we have offered some courses like maybe around 3 months, and if the school wants to buy the games themselves and want to teach them by themselves, then we sell their product only with the guidelines how to play the game, and the teacher will put it in the lecture as the way they want. That's why they want. That's why we offer also the service because we know how to put the game into the lecture and how we structure them and how we give like specialized homework for that day. And I think it's like because we aim at like primary kids, so we don't want to put too much theoretical work. So we just want them to remember the game and apply them with the homework at home. So maybe like 1 week or one topic or 2 weeks of one topic, and it will around 3 or 4 months.
Will the game change on different topics? Will there be some kind of different?
Yeah, actually, there are several features and several different kinds of mechanics. Just to showcase some of them, we have at the very beginning just clicking on things to stop the water, tapping like the tap waters or switching off the lights. But you will have some sort of recycling, drag and drop mechanics. And with that, like mechanics will be increasing along time with all those new features. So it has like it's scalable actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and well, in long term, we would like to have records too with different like environment like schools, park, and everything.
Hey, Annika, Nora.
Same question than before for the other groups. This is not the only education we get here. How do you think about the business market?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Business idea.
The competitors, all the studies that you have been doing.
Yeah, I think it's like we aim mostly at school because we will sell them directly to school and offer our service. And I don't think we have much competitors because we have teams. The other care about like teaching the kids how to sorting trash and teaching them this is glass and this is going to this. So we try to raise the kids awareness about like saving energy mostly. Like it's really we simulate like daily activities and household stories close to the kids, and they can apply it at home, and the school can um, combine with the parents and help them to do it at home as well, and give them a habit of sustainability and environmental responsibility.
Something to add, Nora?
Well, we will keep the children playing this game. Like if there is a road moving on the left side or what is it? What is it? Okay. Something that also.
Yeah, we don't really trust in gamification, like basic gamification based on rewards and giving stamps to keep playing. Actually, we are going to give stamps just for the joke, but the point is that we want to get some kind of arcade kind of gameplay, so it's engaging by the mechanics. The way you are continue playing with it is because you really like to play. It's not you are getting some more points. We are not planning to monetize it with either ads or in-app purchases because of the thing that it's targeted for children. But we are really taking care that the gameplay is engaging enough, so you really want to play. It's not just something you have to do in school and then forget about it. As I said, there are several mechanics. This is one of them, but the point is with these live operation cycles of putting more and more mechanics, it's engaging by itself, or that's like that.
Thank you. Anything to add? Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Quick thing for you all. If you have your phone, not distracted, just like your participants. If you have your phone, kindly go to slide.view and automatic tells you the room number 784. Go for the poll there. 7684, and I think that you might need the names of the groups, just like we think vote for the first person that is most exciting concept. 7684. Okay, and I hope you are about to be ready. We will take the questions. 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go for the next one. Which one would change the world? Now we are asking for the sustainability. So which concept would change the world? Please repeat your own call. And anyone who's going for the last question? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the next one is about the best kids. So who made the best I hope you are not holding your own all the time. That wouldn't be so friendly. Okay, now when you have voted for all the questions, just feel free and go to have food. I bet you are starving. Judges will stay here. You others go for lunch. Tehdäänkö niin, että huomaroidaan, sitten mennään nyt kun on niin puolella vielä. Jos Marko tulee. Katsotaan, tuleeko se Marko. Could you leave for the lunch? The room will be empty. Okay, thank you for the online.